Curt Bogislaus Ludvig Kristoffer von Stedingk was a count of the von Stedingk family, and a successful Swedish army officer and diplomat who played a prominent role in Swedish foreign policy for several decades. Biography. Early life. Von Stedingk was born in Swedish Pomerania on 26 October 1746. His father was Major Kristoffer Adam Stedingk and his mother was Countess Christina Charlotta von Schwerin, daughter of Frederik the Great famous Field Marshal Curt Kristoffer von Schwerin. He married Ulrika Fredrika Ekström, and became the father of one son and 5 daughters who married into the noble families af Glass by Ornstierna, the von Platen, Trante and Rosenblad. He was the father of the composer Maria Fredrika von Stedingk. During the 7 Years' War, at which time Sweden was at war with Prussia, then 13-year-old Curt was an ensign in the personal regiment of the Crown Prince of Sweden. After the end of the war, he went to Sweden to claim compensation for damage done to his family's estate in Pomerania. This goal was not achieved, but instead, von Stedingk was introduced to the court, and became friends with the Crown Prince and his brothers. In Canada, the lineage continues with Baron Viggo von Stedingk and his bride Baroness Paula von Stedingk, the landowners with the Chestnut Park Consortium. Career. Military career. In 1763, after von Stedingk completed his studies at Uppsala University, he began his military career, and rose quickly through the ranks in the Royal Suédois Regiment in France, which was owned by his friend Count Axel von Fersen. Both von Stedingk and Axel von Fersen were both close friends of Louis XVI and Marie Antoinette and spent much time in Versailles. By 1788, he had become colonel-in-chief, and by 1783, he was in charge of a larger army unit in Finland, then an internal part of Sweden. During the American Revolutionary War, when France sent troops under the command of Marquis de Lafayette, Indiana, support of the American colonies, von Stedingk went overseas to America in 1779. At Siege of Savannah in October 1779, he commanded the left column of the attacking force, and planted the American flag on the last line of enemy trenches, but was wounded by enemy crossfire, and forced to retreat, with 20 men, all wounded like he was. For this, he was decorated by the French and received a lifetime pension. He was also recognized as a hero for his acts during the naval battle of Grenada, fought against Vice Admiral John Byron on 6 July 1779. For his feats in battle, von Stedingk was made a member of the Society of the Cincinnati by George Washington in 1783. However, the King of Sweden at the time, Gustav III, forbade him to wear the insignia as they were awarded to him by a revolting people. During the Russo-Swedish War started by King Gustav III in 1788, von Stedingk commanded the defense of Savolax. His forces repeatedly defeated Russian forces that greatly outnumbered the Swedes, and von Stedingk was promoted to Major General. He was ambassador to Russia in St. Petersburg in 2 turns, all in all almost 20 years. In the Russo-Swedish War 1808–1809 he was commander-in-chief in Finland, which still belonged to Sweden. Thanks to his very good standing with the Russian imperial family, he later managed to alleviate the harsh terms of the peace negotiations when Finland was lost to Russia. In the Battle of Leipzig he successfully commanded the Swedish troops against Napoleon. He was promoted to Field Marshal. Death. And afterward, von Stedingk died at age 90 in Stockholm, and is said to have been mourned by both the King of Sweden, at that time Charles XIV John, and the armed forces.